really about how family businesses operating in extreme environments will survive and ultimately thrive despite all the complexity that surrounds them. It's economic or political or environmental.
And trying to understand how families in business cope with those environments offers both an opportunity and a challenge for us to figure out how can we support those families, what strategies work better, how do they manage to adapt, where does their resiliency come from. So the issues are relevant not just from a professional point of view, but very much from a personal point of view as well.
Well, it's interesting. In fact, working on client work together, the pair of us have now several clients that operate in these environments, as we managed to discover, in fact, the characteristics that make extremophiles so resilient in these environments are, in fact, the assets in any environment, but particularly so when there's all sorts of adversity that they have to overcome simply to sort of keep the lights on and keep the business going.
In addition to that, I would add there's also a personal dimension, because I originally come from Venezuela, so I have witnessed up close and personal how a society can flip upside down. And so we see, we're in the room with the families as they try to assess how they're going to cope with the condition, and they become actually expert tacticians in many ways. I do believe that with uncertainty, family becomes a lifeboat for many people. And as such, there are networks of entrepreneurial activity which need to be examined. If they know, if they're able to talk to their parents or grandparents, and they can say how many crises the family has gone through before and yet kept itself whole, it gives some hope to the people who are currently dealing with the triaging to be able to know that something better may come down the line.
The only other thing that I can think of, practically speaking, that we've identified is this idea that in these environments, the tolerance for risk among the families, often those living there, tends to go up simply by virtue of the fact that they're living and breathing this on a daily basis. And sometimes that assessment of risk is less objective. It's colored by their own cognitive biases. That sort of having to stew in that type of environment grows a thicker skin. In many ways, it makes them resilient and tolerant, but in some ways, it could actually make it problematic for them to sort of objectively, unemotionally assess whether or not the risks they're taking in remaining where they are or investing more actively where they're doing their businesses. In our data set now, we have family businesses operating in these environments anywhere from their second generation to their 19th generation. You know, some go way beyond. And this concept that there's something durable about the family-controlled business that manages to persevere. It's sort of inspiring in a sense.
So it really does reinforce our sense that family enterprises may actually be vessels to carry us to the future.